So now I'm bitter because I felt rejected. You left me with strangers who don't love me. How did that happen? Relationship. Most of why you're hiding, or most of what stops you from really moving forward in your relationship with the people of God and the house of God and the church and things of God. Why? Because in a lot of church relationships, people have been hurt, tricked, bamboozled, hoodwinked, right? It's relationships. Everything is relationships. So, but we have to learn how to navigate through relationships. So, and then you have to say, are you ready for love? You know, we want love. I'm ready. I'm ready. Or my wife gave the testimony how she was just looking for a husband. She wasn't looking for what God had for her. She just wanted a husband to father her child. So she wasn't ready for love. Right? So she wasn't thinking, matter of fact, because you had the mic Friday. Matter of fact, she wanted to marry somebody. One that didn't want to have sex till he got married, even though she was trying to test me. So I said I wasn't going to have sex till I got married. I had sex, but I had decided God's going to be exclusive. All right, then the other thing she wanted, now listen to this one. I don't want nobody with a ready-made family. Nobody that has children. She had a son. It's our son now, but she had a son. So I was like, babe, how did you even come up with that? You have a child, but you don't want nobody with children. Who thinks like that? Right? So you see how you said a lot of people. Right, but so she knew what she wanted, but she wasn't preparing herself to be what that person needed. Now I use her, I use me. This was actually might have been a couple weeks before I met her, or maybe a year. I ain't know about virtuous woman or nothing, because I was just really getting into the word. So I said, Lord, I want the perfect woman. So he met me where I was. He didn't say, you want a virtuous. He didn't say none of that. He said, what's she gonna get? I never looked at it that way. I said, wow. So God shows me stuff in video. It's called an open vision. So he gave me a picture, like looking through her eyes at me, because obviously she was the person. I didn't know at the time. And what that person would need and what that person desired, it was so humbling. I was like, I ain't that guy. And he showed me a picture of a solid man of God, solid in the word, being able to meet whatever demand comes at him. It frightened me when I saw that picture. I said, matter of fact, it frightened me so much, I got into the word. I started reading the Bible every day from that point on. Like, I would spend my whole lunch reading like whole books of the Bible, because but it started with me asking a question about relationships. I said, I'm not what that person may need, whoever it is. So let me work on that. So I took my attention off of what I wanted and started to become what I needed to be ready for love. The whole time, see, we do that. What that person gonna get? What are they looking for? They may be looking for a level of discipline you ain't even at yet. So you gonna blow the very thing you desire because you ain't ready for it. The whole time you got all these stats. I'm just picking with her. So you got your list. Well, what you ain't considering, they got a list. So they may be meeting everything on your list, but are you meeting everything on theirs? What's going on now? How you gonna even have a list? It goes back to my point. You ain't even trying to prepare for nobody else's list, but you want them to be ready for yours. Now, let me check. This is the other thing. We met, she said, I need to see a track record. This is one of our first arguments. She was like, I need to see a track record because, years ago, my BC days, I got high. Well, once you get high, you'll always get high. Because her ex-husband, had got high and all types of stuff. I was like, I stopped getting high like 8 years ago. I said, I'm never getting high again. I ain't going to no rehab and none of this ain't for me. Well, I don't know. According to, I guess what they said at Narcotics Anonymous or something. I don't know where she got it from. But she said, I need to see a track record. I was like, hold on a second now. I said, I got a list too. Because I had this picture of me sitting up on this platform and she was like, okay, you're doing good. Keep on going. Yeah, you'll get it together eventually. I was like, no, I'm evaluating too. And that's what we have to realize. Don't just think about what you want. Be what they need. So it might be a whole lot of work in just doing that. You ain't even got time to focus on them yet. So, because think you focusing on them when you're ready, right? Like when you want, if you want to dream, you're like, well, I done did everything I need to do, God. Dream should be here about any time this week now, right? But what we do is we like, where's the dream? Like we ready. A leader is ready when his time comes. They don't get ready when the time comes. You may be too late by then. So the humbling thing is, it's easy to look for what you want, but it's a lot harder to look at what you need to be. Right? So that's it might be a little stretch. See, there's no middle ground. Either you're preparing or you're committing. There's no middle ground. You're either preparing or you're committing. So see, there's no rules or boundaries of protection in no man's land in that middle area. So there's no rules for shacking and infidelity. That's not even like me trying to trip on nobody. That's just like you got rules for being single. You got rules for covenant. There's no rules in the middle. So you can be exposed to all types of craziness. You can't be in the middle. Either you're preparing or you're committing. You're not sitting in there in la la land. You may not come out of there. You know, you may be there 15 years. Like, yeah, you know, we've been engaged for the last 15 years. And arguing every day. All right, so are you ready for love? The way you live as a single is the way you live married. Some people are married can see that because you brought the single person into the marriage. Right? You brought the single perspective. I know we got some younger people here, so I'll try to customize this. You brought the single perspective of, what can I call it? Intimacy. Y'all know what I'm really talking about, right? All right, so what happens is, so in the world is what? Everything is in the dark, hiding, and you got to stay in rhythm because the young lady know I ain't supposed to be doing this, so the guy's thinking, well, I got to keep it moving because she may change her mind. The young lady is like, I got to stay with the flow because I may change my mind, right? You take that into a covenant. No, the covenant is transparent and vulnerable. Everything is open, exposed. Ain't no lights off. Ain't no, you got to rush. Ain't no, if the person get a cramp, no, don't stop because you might change your mind. No, you get a cramp, let me massage it. It's a whole nother flow. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Just turn. You can't take that single, yeah, I tore that up, I got mine. Y'all want me to just make up stuff, guys? You can't do that and come into a covenant. Talk about it. You can't bring your lust songs into a love world. That's selfish. I got mine. Lust is I got to get mine. Now I want you to get. Never mind. Y'all know what I'm saying, right? You all right? All right. So you want to complete yourself as a single. That's a good way to be equipped for your future covenant. A sanctified single life can be great preparation for marriage. Man finds a wife. He has to see God's design for him through uncontaminated lenses. See, so if you don't complete yourself as a single in your communion with God, you have a skewed view. So your wife could be right there, but you're looking at the house. Oh, I'm sorry. You're looking at the what? Too late, said it. All right, so you're looking, see, because you have a skewed view. So you're not looking for a friend, you're looking for a freak. You see, so your lenses are uncontaminated, so you can actually recognize, you can find the wife. You can recognize, God said, that's my wife. But I had to hear from God. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so, all right, so the woman has to be the wife God designed for him uncorrupted. So if she doesn't complete herself as a single, she's corrupt. He walking right by her. She like right there, like, according to GPS, she's supposed to be here, right? Where is she? But she's covered with them, not being herself. That's why you have to complete yourself as a single. That's why you got to lock in on your communion with God, because then you don't have to keep having all these breakups to makeups. That's all you do. First you love me, then you hate me. That's a game for fools. Stylistics for the old folk. I thought I'd give you a little stylistics flashback. All right, so again, if you're ready for love, you have to be content. So he can't find you if you're covered and smothered in them. The scripture says in Psalms 139, you know I'm going to need an extra 10 minutes, right? Psalms 139:14, it says, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. fearfully. God customized you. Fearfully means, ooh, no, Ernest, you're almost like your brother. I got to add something else because I don't want you comparing yourself to your brother. Ooh, got a little bit of your dad. I want you to be only comparison you'll have is to my design. That's what fearfully is. God took painstaking time, counted all the hairs on your head, made sure you had a genuine handprint and footprint like nobody else's. Made sure you thought different, walked different, act different, represented yourself different. Fearfully took the time out. He said, but that's not enough. I got to put some wonders in you. Filled you with wonders. So fearfully and wonderfully made you. So now that person that's supposed to be with you they have a Geiger counter, or they have a sensor that when they get around you, the genuine, authentic you, something goes off in them. A shot goes through their arm when they're praying. Uh-oh, whoa, something happened. Covenant. An alarm goes off. If you're anything less than that, if you're smothered in them, they can't see you. And then you get hopeless and you settle for less than you deserve and less than your design. Right? You see what happens? See, so what happens is you're tempted to compromise. See, the goal is you want to hold out. You want to be patient. You want to hold out for a covenant man. Now, underneath man, when the Bible talks about man, man is just a covering of a species, of a human being. Underneath man is male and female. God made man in his image and after his likeness. Not man, male and female, right? All right, so you want to hold out for a covenant, just for the sake of this conversation, person, a covenant male or female. Don't settle for a con man, a con male or female. Hold out for a covenant. See, a con man is what's called a confidence man. It makes people feel good while they suck the life out of them. That's what a con man is short for confidence man. You gain you gain their confidence the whole time. You're zapping the life out of them, but they don't realize it because they feel good, because they're led by their sensuality, not their spirituality. They're led by their sexuality, not their spirituality. So the whole time they think they're feeling good. So mommy and daddy be like, "Look at this. Do you realize what you're doing? You don't understand. I'm in love." Well, y'all don't understand. I'm a grown man now. This person I think I need to be with. The whole time they just taking your life, taking your dreams. Superman around kryptonite. You get weaker and weaker. But you feel good the whole time. But you've been suckered by a confidence man. Confidence male or female. Either you're being manipulated or manipulated. Right? You don't want to you got to hold out. See, a con man or a con male is not a creator, not a visionary. He's a perverter. See, so when you run into a man of God when he's a visionary, create, made in God's image after God's likeness. He has a clear vision and it stimulates you. The design in a female. You're designed to help a vision. Everything in you is to help a vision. Even if you have your own vision, but his vision is so big, it includes your vision in it. Amen. See, so now and then when you run into a con woman, that's not a helpmeet. She's a hindering mess. That's not somebody that seems like they're pulling out. Like when I met my wife, she was giving the example. The day I met her at that church, the first thing she said, "Are you a minister?" I was like, "No, I got a tryout with the CBA next week." Next week I had a tryout with the Continental Basketball Association. So I'm like, nah. God had her speak out what I was supposed to do. I wasn't even, people were always telling me like, "So you're a minister?" I was like, "Nah, I read the Bible like we all need to be reading the Bible. Just because I carry a Bible, I ain't no minister. Duh, look what I do." You see what I'm saying? But it was in her. So she was a helpmeet. God, she placed demands on me to pull out what was in me, just us engaging each other, as opposed to a hindering mess. Just all types of obstacles and hurdles, like vexing the mess out of a brother. But that wasn't happening. If you're not complete or mature, you could carry that immaturity or lascivious spirit, partying spirit, irresponsibility or freelance spirit into your covenant.